Hey guys, it's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. I am back talking to you about players you need to get on your teams to help you get to the championships, get to the playoffs, and to win a championship. So far, I've had a ton of fun interacting with you guys on social media. You can get us at snap_fantasy. Send us a pic of your team. Send us a pic of your trade partner's team, and we will try to facilitate some trades and help you figure out how to make your team better to win a championship. First off, guys, I'm going to talk about a running back, and that running back is going to be J.K. Dobbins. J.K. leads all running backs in missed tackles at 37%, and Mark Ingram, out of qualified running backs, is last at forced missed tackles at 5.7%. J.K. might be the hardest one to acquire right now because he just had a really good game against Pittsburgh, but it's tough against Indy and New England coming up, so maybe the owner wants to sell high on him, and that's why I'm recommending you gotta get J.K. Dobbins on the team. He should be the lead back. They've got a great running team. I know they just lost one of the best tackles in the league, but I'm not worried about it because J.K. Dobbins is that special. Their playoff schedule at week 13 and beyond is Dallas, Cleveland, Jacksonville, and the New York Giants. That's a great schedule, and the Baltimore Ravens are going to want to win some games badly. They're going to want to use J.K. Dobbins. So get J.K. Dobbins on the squad and win a championship. Next, I will talk about a running back that if you're a fan of the show, you've known about this guy, and that is Deandre Swift. So DeAndre, they have Minnesota this week, Washington, Carolina, Houston, Chicago, Green Bay coming up. This guy is going to help you get into a championship, and he just had a really bad week against Indy. So now is your chance to buy DeAndre Swift. He's going to be used in all facets of the game. Last week was weird. It was Adrian Peterson. It was Kerryon Johnson. They want to get DeAndre Swift involved. He's an exciting rookie to have, and I think you can get him on your squad for fairly cheap. So get DeAndre Swift on the team. You should get him for a pretty good price. And if you have questions, make sure you send us a DM to find out what we would actually pay for J.K. Dobbins. Some wide receivers to look at. Number one is going to be Terry McLaurin. He was just on bye, so people may have forgot how good this guy is. His schedule is the best by far. 5 stars across the board. They've got New York, Detroit, Cincinnati, Dallas, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Seattle leading up to the championship game. He is playing almost all of the snaps. The week before, he had 11 targets, 12 targets, 14 targets against Baltimore. He had over 118 yards against Baltimore. This guy is matchup proof. He's an absolute stud. Kyle Allen is going to feed him the ball. He's great. He's the number one target in Washington, and if you can get Terry McLaurin cheap because he's coming off the bye week, do that. Next guy I'm going to talk about is Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's been sneaky, a really, really good fantasy wide receiver, but he's on bye this week, so this is a chance to get Tyler on your team. They've got also a good schedule. The playoffs, it's Miami, Dallas, Pittsburgh's been giving it up to the wide receiver. Houston in championship week. Tyler Boyd's been great. Joe Burrow's throwing some of the most pass attempts out of any quarterback, and Tyler Boyd is definitely the recipient of that. He's a great wide receiver. He doesn't have the name value that people hold tight onto, like DeAndre Hopkins or even like an Amari Cooper. Like people almost would rather have Cooper with really no quarterback than Tyler Boyd, which is crazy. That's bananas, guys. Maybe things are changing, but you got to get Tyler Boyd on the team. He's a stud. The last wide receiver I'm going to talk about is going to be Will Fuller. He wasn't traded from the Texans, so he remains the number one option in Houston. They're coming off a bye, and he was going to get traded, so maybe people are low on him. He's scored in every game since week 3. So he's a stud, man. Whether he's a deep threat, slot receiver, a possession guy, he can do it all. He can take 6 targets and make it 100 yards, no question about it. And the schedule isn't as good for Will Fuller, so you're buying on the hype and you're buying on the chance that the Texans defense is bad and Deshaun Watson is just going to air it out. He's playing for a contract this year. He's going to show exactly why the Green Bay Packers should have traded for him. So get that guy on the team. My final player is going to be a quarterback, and that is going to be Big Ben Roethlisberger. His schedule is good. They throw a lot. Pittsburgh is one of the best teams in the league. Their defense, although it's great, gives it up to a lot of teams, a lot of passing yards to a lot of teams. And I think Big Ben is a sneaky little ad going forward for your fantasy matchups. Big Ben, he's a guy you could probably get off waivers. He's probably a guy that he's not an every week start, but right now he's got a good matchups with Dallas, Cincinnati, Jacksonville. They play Baltimore again, but besides that, it's going to be Washington, Cincinnati, Buffalo. It's going to be fine for Big Ben. He's going to throw it a ton. Hopefully Deontay Johnson can get back and stay healthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster needs to step up. But Chase Claypool is an emerging rookie as well, so Big Ben has plenty of guys to throw to, and they're going to keep chucking the ball. So Big Ben is low-key a sneaky guy. You don't need to pay up for a guy like that, but he's going to be someone that's consistent week to week. We've had a lot of inconsistent play from quarterbacks this year, and Big Ben's going to be fairly safe and just enough for you to win a championship. All right, guys, drop it in the comments below if you're trading for any of these guys. If you have other questions or what other players you might be acquiring coming into playoffs, your trade deadline is right around the corner, so you got to get these trades done ASAP. Thanks for coming by, guys. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot.